want to talk about what's wrong with our politics today, there are so many things that I can actually point out, right? But I think the most fundamental problem that we have is that politicians, they do not have the freedom to do the right thing, right? And why I say that is because they are always, their hands are tied, and their lips are sealed, all because of the history that they have, right? Or the alliance that they have, or all this agreement, all this, sort of like a pact that they already have with other politicians that actually limit what they can do. I know we have a lot of politicians, whether in Pakatan or whether in Perikatan, we have a lot of politicians. They are brilliant. They have the right intention, they want to actually bring the nation forward, but most of the time they cannot do anything. Because why? Because they are tied to whatever pact that they already have, right? So that is number one. We don't have freedom to actually do the right thing. Number two, the problem in Malaysia is that we have been in a system where most of the politicians and most of the people, right, especially those in politics, they do not understand, or rather they are not aware that it is actually wrong. So to them, during election, they used to give a lot of, money, they give money away, they give a lot of stuff away, for example, right? They don't see that as a problem. They don't see that as something that is wrong. And the reason for that is because that has been the practice for the last, 20, 30, 40, even 50 years. It has been normalized. So when this has been normalized, what happened is that the people are used to vote for politicians that can actually give them something materialistic. So that is a huge problem, because the thing is, I can bring the best idea how to run the country to my constituency to get their vote, but at the end of the day, if my opponent comes with all these, what we call as candies, right, what we call is all these soft briberies, give away a lot of stuff, to the voters, right, they will actually choose that candidate. So that is one of the biggest problems that we have, and that is why I think it's very important what Bajasa is doing, right? Because we understand that, if we want a shortcut to win in election, we can easily do that. You find a tycoon, you find someone that can back us up financially, we can give away stuff, we can easily do that, right? But the thing is, what we want to do is we want to educate the Malaysians that, no, we have to stop this kind of politicking, and we have to actually do things the right way, right? And in order for you to do the right thing, you have to have a political party that is also trying to do the right thing. Just put yourself in a position of a voter where, okay, it's voting day, I want to go, and both of the camps, for example, 2 or 3 other parties, all of them are actually playing the same game. Everyone is trying to give me something. Everyone is trying to bribe me, right? So at the end of the day, I can only choose who are least corrupt of them all, right? Which is not a good option, for a Malaysian. But when you have a party with an ideal that we do not play this game, right? I know at first, maybe the first 2-3 elections, we might be the weirdo, people will not vote for us because they are not used to this kind of politicians or candidates. But I believe that this is the sort of education, enlightenment that you have to give to the country. So that is the problem, money politics and all that. That is also a big problem within our political scene in Malaysia. And the other thing is, for the lack of a better word, I would say dinosaurs, right? Because if you look at the Malaysian politics for the last 20, 30 years, it's been dominated by the same people, right? And although we see, some young politicians come to the fore, for example, right? Most often than not, these young politicians are actually proxy of these dinosaurs anyway, right? So the way they think, the way they do things, right, are very similar to what the dinosaurs, have been doing for all these years, right? And the reason for that, right, is because these young politicians, when they get into the political party and they get into the political scene, they need all this backup. And obviously, they don't have the money, they don't have the influence, right? So they rely on all these dinosaurs in politics to actually give them the financial backing and the influence backing, right? And this is when, they have all their ideals, but their ideals slowly diminish and they have to follow the way of the dinosaurs, right? But the thing is, their time is over, right? They are not effective anymore. We need something fresh. So I think that is why, Berjasa is actually in the politics today. Yeah.